This is Not Your Average Bucket List by Only in Your State, a podcast about exploring the hidden gems right in your own backyard. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Not Your Average Bucket List by Only in Your State. I'm here with my co-host, Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, Marissa. How are you?
Doing well. Excited about today, actually, because this is one of the article that we're going to be talking about is Chasing Waterfalls across the United States. And I'm pumped for this because this is a new editorial tentpole for Only in Your State. Am I right?
Yeah, it is a real passion project from our editorial team. Shout out to Megan Shute, Andrea Limke, Sarah McCosham, and all the other people who made this amazing, absolutely gorgeous piece of editorial. And not to be confused with Chasing Waterfalls, the hit 1994 song by TLC off of their Crazy Sexy Cool album. But it is our amazing new feature, and like I said, it's gorgeous. You have to check it out on our website at Chasing Waterfalls. That's onlyinyourstate.com/Chasing Waterfalls. So it's absolutely gorgeous, and I'm really excited to talk about today too.
Yeah, I did try to get the rights to open up our episode with that TLC song. Little bit out of our budget, but yeah, maybe next time.
I will. Just to start, though, let me read our little summary that we put together for this because I think it's just absolutely adorable. So from jaw-dropping cascades to swimmable emerald ponds, there are countless magnificent waterfalls found across the United States, and June, designated as Great Outdoors Month, is the perfect time to go chasing. These aren't the rivers and lakes that you're used to. You see what they did there?
Love it. Amazing. Also, did not know that June was Great Outdoors Month.
It is Great Outdoors Month. Get outdoors into your 115-degree weather.
Yeah. Actually, I did yesterday. I went to the beach, and
nice.
It was glorious. Just, yes. Love it.
Okay, tell me. Yeah. And my stat's going to be different than you, I'm sure. Oh, no. How many minutes do you wait before eating your beach sandwich?
Okay, excellent question. I didn't bring a sandwich yesterday because I went early. I know. I did bring I brought a yogurt parfait with some berries, and I ate it immediately because I was very hungry. And I got there and I was like, okay, I'm hungry. Let me just eat this real quick. And I only stayed a couple hours because, I'm just like lathering on the sunscreen. But man, something about being outside, outdoors at the beach. It was so empty, and gosh, it was just the best. Yeah.
I'm jealous. We're having a heat wave for Ohio, and so it's been like 80s, 90s, humid, and I would love to be outside, but my dog is a little, silly little boy, and if it's too hot, he's just immediately. It's strange because he wants to fry outside and become a little toast boy, but then he's just like panicking and wants to be inside but won't move.
Right.
Whatever. So I've been indoors with the curtains closed.
That sounds pretty goth of you, and I love it. But yeah. So have you done anything outdoors for the month of June yet, or do you have anything planned?
For Great Outdoors Month, I've been on some walks, some runs, nothing exciting. I need to go out, touch water, grass, eat some carbs on a beach. It would be great. I actually have been looking into using Swimply. I don't know if you heard this.
Yes, I have.
And basically, listeners, it is a place where you can rent swimming pools by the hour, really, and they're residential swimming pools. So if you don't have one, like me, I could look at my community and see who's renting them. Sounds great, but then all these questions like, can I use their bathroom? Do I have to worry about getting water anywhere? Are there cameras? How many cameras?
Yeah,
there are definitely cameras. No, just kidding.
Those are valid. Those are very valid questions. Yes, it's so funny because I am lucky enough to have a pool. And I wanted to list our pool, but only for dogs, and have it be like dogs can come, because our dogs are like, they're in the pool all the time. And it's like, yeah, that's the highlight of their life, I think. So why not open it up to other dogs and just let them come over and,
That
you
is the
know,
best thing I've ever heard. Kind of like a sniff
yeah.
spot, but for dog pools. I love it.
Yes.
Please, I'll bring
Yes.
Fen down if you ever list it. And I'll just show up in your yard one
So,
day, like, hey, have at it. Enjoy.
done. Dog pool party. I love
How
that.
about to bring it back to Chasing Waterfalls? Have you ever taken your dogs to a waterfall to just like swim, play around? Or, I mean, you're in Florida, so there's not many to be had where you are right now, I would think.
Yeah, there's not. We don't have too many great waterfalls, unfortunately, but I have taken Ghost when I was traveling, when I was in my van and I was
Mm-hmm.
traveling. He's just like, water boy to the max, and he
Oh,
any body of water he will go in. And there was actually one waterfall. It's a small waterfall outside of Austin in Barton Creek Springs, and it's a creek that has like rushing water from the springs. And I used to throw his ball into the waterfall cascade. He'd
oh,
dive in and then like ride the wave all the way down. I have video of
that's
it. It
so
was
cute. Oh
incredible.
my
Yeah.
God. Well, I need to put it on our Instagram for our Chasing Waterfalls feature.
Right.
Honestly, seriously, that sounds like amazing content.
Yeah.
I wish I would. Both of my dogs. Well, I've had multiple dogs growing up, but Fen and my dog growing up, Belle. Neither of them could swim. They would just walk in, be chest deep, the end. And it's not that I didn't try to help them swim, but I feel like my lack of swimming ability just absorbed into them by osmosis. It's like dogs eventually act like their owners because they pick up their cues and stuff. They knew I
Right.
couldn't swim, so they're like, nah, not for us. Can't do it.
Oh. What about with little
And
life jackets? Ghost has a life jacket that he uses
I've
just in
never
case.
tried. My family has a
Okay.
pond and everything. I should just get a little shark life jacket, throw
Yeah.
it on him, and chuck him in and see how he does.
Oh my gosh. I can trauma. Dear diary, this is Fen. My mom traumatized me today.
Whoops. No, I wouldn't do that to him. Poor guy.
No, yeah. I do wish in Florida we had more waterfalls. It's, we have beaches, not a lot of waterfalls, but what
Yeah.
about you? In Ohio, you guys have some good ones?
Absolutely. So for Ohio in the Cuyahoga Valley National Park, there's Brent. Well, I think it's technically in the park, but Brandywine Falls, which is a gorgeous waterfall. I actually saw Mick Jagger wandering around Cuyahoga. I didn't personally see him. I saw that he was wandering around Cuyahoga Valley because the Rolling Stones came to Cleveland last weekend, and so he got
Hmm,
pictures of him by the waterfalls and things like that. They're not.
cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. And they're not giant falls like some of the ones we're going to be talking about, but they are gorgeous. Brandywine's probably the closest to me and my favorite. We have something near me called Dundee Falls as well. Yeah, for being in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains and then having the Cuyahoga Valley National Park, we do get some falls, and Niagara is just a short drive away. So,
Yeah. Have you been to Niagara Falls?
well, yeah, well, let's kick it off. Do you want to
I yeah.
let's chat about waterfalls?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay, yes, we'll segue into that. Is that one of your waterfall choices for the episode?
It is
Cool.
mainly because, yes, I have been to it and many times. I feel like it is a quintessential place for anyone in my area to go to visit. One, it is gigantic. It's a beautiful no matter what side you go on. So it's split between the Canadian side and the US side, and no matter what side you go on, it's beautiful. I've been there and did the Maiden of the Mist, where you get on the boat and you go up to the waterfall and you're wearing the poncho, and if you've ever seen The Office, that's what they're on whenever they get married. And then I've also done this like little trail you can go behind the waterfalls as well. Um, I did read in my research getting ready for this that there could in the future, probably not our future, but the falls are eroding, so eventually it might just be level with Lake Erie, which is interesting. Um,
Wow.
Not sure about that if we're ever going to see it, but that's interesting. Which, fun fact, all of these waterfalls really, I mean, are created by erosion. The water
Yeah,
has to go somewhere. So, usually
it's
coming from the
true.
snowpack high in the mountains with some of these bigger falls or just lakes and streams, rivers that you're used to. Yeah. And then they have to find their way down. But yeah,
Yeah.
Niagara's great. There's a there's a lot to do in the area, really. They have casinos and hotels and things like that. So, Yeah, I have been to Niagara Falls. It's on our list of, I don't think it's on our official, like, this is what you have to see list, but it is on our tallest, 19 of the tallest in America, tallest waterfalls that you can see. And it is massive. And if you
Yeah.
stand there and read the plaque about the person going over the waterfalls in the barrel, you're like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why? But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. How about you? What's one of the
Yeah.
waterfalls you've been to that you want to chat about?
So I was gonna kick it off with Multnomah Falls in Oregon. No
Oh, actually,
surprise.
I just saw that you're actually in the article commenting on Niagara Falls.
Yeah,
So I
I've been
didn't
to Niagara
improperly credit
Falls
you. Yeah.
as a kid. Yeah, I've been to
Yeah.
I've been to Niagara. It's been a long time, honestly, but I went with my mom and my grandparents and my sister, and I had an absolute blast. It
Yeah.
was so much fun. What an experience just to to be on just the boat and feel the spray of the falls and learn all about it. And I was fascinated. I had some creepy fascination with people going over the falls in barrels. I had a whole book on it. I don't know why my mom let me
Really?
buy. Yeah, no, I was so fascinated, and just like just that aspect of, I don't know, being in a barrel. You don't know when you're going to go over the falls, because these are like really tightly packed
Sealed.
barrels.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not many people survived the fall. First of all, like, who in their right mind was like set out to
This
do
is it.
this? Anyway,
This is how
yeah.
I'm going to make my mark. I'm
But
glad
yeah,
that your takeaway was similar to mine of like barrels. What? Why?
yes. And I'm just like, I can't. But first of all, what I also can't believe is that people. I'm assuming there are some sort of laws now that they can't. But why hasn't anybody tried to do this nowadays with technology and probably way safer barrels? It's like, why isn't anybody daredeviling this? Because I feel
We
like
really advanced our technology of barrels. I don't see why. Yeah. Well, I
I
mean,
don't
plus
know.
the rails by the falls are extremely low. You could just jump over them. So,
Yeah,
you know,
just with your own barrel, bring your
with
BYOB.
yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I just saw
yeah,
your name pop up in the article. So, what is the waterfall you did want to
yeah.
talk about?
Yeah. So in Oregon, Multnomah Falls, it's the tallest waterfall in Oregon. I've been there twice, and it is just gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. You don't have to walk the entire trek up because there are different levels, and then you have also
Mm,
the Benson Bridge, which is this beautiful bridge that you can stand in front of, perfect for pictures.
yeah,
Um, and it's like the first level, and then if you wanted to wind up the pathways and keep going up, you could. But this is really like no crazy hikes required, because you park there, you walk up, and that's pretty much it. So it's not like you're going to be on this crazy trek, but it really is just beautiful. A waterfall at over 600 feet. um
wow.
like, it's just worth stopping by and seeing. And really, just the
Yeah.
photo, I took photos of it and didn't do it justice, but you see a lot of people there with professional cameras, really, like, trying to
That's the thing
capture
that
it.
gets me about waterfalls and a lot of these like natural wonders in general that we feature is that the pictures and videos never really do it justice because you don't feel the spray, you don't hear it. It's roaring
Yeah,
usually if you're close enough, and just the majesty of it is just overwhelming. You're not going to get that
yeah,
on a camera. And I
yeah,
do love what you said about the accessibility. A lot of these waterfalls actually are fairly accessible. Like there's parking lots nearby. A lot of them have paved pathways leading to them because they're so spectacular. There's a lot of
yeah,
infrastructure around them. So that's cool.
yeah.
Multnomah Falls.
Yes, very cool. What about you? What's your next one?
So my next one is going to be Yosemite.
Hmm.
One, recency bias. I was just there this last year, so I was really, overwhelmed by it. But it's gorgeous and one of the tallest waterfalls in the United States. And actually, it is the world's fifth tallest waterfall. It's broken up into three different parts: the upper falls, the middle cascades, and the lower falls. So similar to Multnomah, you have multiple viewing points. And I think the viewing point for the lower falls is like a less than a mile hike. It's mainly a paved pathway and it's extremely close to a parking lot. So, and you'll see all of it really whenever you get to to the lower spot. So I thought it was just a really good option. And that's because I, had three nephews in tow. That's the one we did. But it was absolutely gorgeous. And just a couple other facts. So the world's tallest is actually Angel Falls in Venezuela. I'm not sure if you've ever seen photos of that, but it is just
No.
mind blowing. It's so
Hmm.
cool. Yep. And then let's see what else I have. I have some like mishmash of trivia that I can share with you later. But for Yosemite, yeah, it's the fifth tallest. And if you want to do some size comparisons for each of the cascades, or I guess we would call it, but the upper fall is 1.4 1.4 feet tall. And it's about the size of the Sears Tower in Chicago. And the lower fall is 320 feet, which is the length of a soccer field. So that's kind of like the size difference you see
Wow.
with Yosemite.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it is absolutely, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I grew up not really seeing too many like giant waterfalls, in New Jersey, New York. There are some beautiful ones, don't get me wrong, but when you talk about size like that and that type of waterfall, it's pretty, I would say, few and far between, or like just kind of scattered throughout the country where you really have to make a trek to that specific
Mhm.
area to really go see it and make it like
Yeah.
your stop.
I will say one of my favorite places, and it's not in the United States, so sorry about that. But if you go to Iceland, they have some epic waterfalls.
Cool.
Just Skagafoss is one of the coolest ones because you have this like big open field leading up to it, and you can go behind it. And it, but be warned, it is frigid, most likely, and
Yeah.
you're going to get extremely wet. My
Oh
cousin
boy.
had the it was romantic and adorable, but she was going to do her vows behind it with her partner. And we all went there and we were trying to keep it together. And it was so cold. Everyone was
Oh my
freezing. They couldn't
gosh.
get through. It was adorable. But yes, Iceland has some amazing waterfalls. And I know all around the world, there's some great places, but that's one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
No, yeah, wet and cold. I think I'm out on that. But no, I do want to go to Iceland. Honestly, that would be
Yeah.
an experience for sure. Um, I don't, I haven't really seen too many waterfalls outside of the United States off the top of my head, beyond just obviously Niagara Falls and Canada. But
Yeah.
that would be cool to kind of just keep exploring. I'm sure South America has some incredible ones. I mean, you
Oh
mentioned
my gosh.
Venezuela, so
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. Um, so yeah, continuing on, I wanted to talk about Havasu Falls in Arizona
Yeah.
because I do have mixed feelings about this one.
Okay.
And it used to be on my list because you now have to be you have to sign up for like a lottery to
Yep.
basically get a chance to go there. And for the longest time, this was on my list. This Havasu Falls is part of the Havasupai Indian Reservation, which translates to people of the blue green waters, which that's what Havasu Falls is known for. This like blue green color of the water. It's basically high levels of calcium carbonate in the water. So it's a lot of limestone, makes it this like
Mm.
incredible blue green color.
I always wondered, like, especially Havasu Falls and like places in the Grand Canyon, things like that. Whenever you see this like bright blue water, it's always shocking to me. I'm like, there has to be,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Calcium
Yeah.
carbonate.
And yeah, so yeah, which it makes it very photo worthy. And so I think
Mm,
that's basically what happened for the past decade is social media, and people want to be going to this waterfall to take photos, to put it on
yeah.
Instagram, TikTok, whatever. The thing is, you have to hike 10 miles each way to get there. So that in and of itself, people don't want to do. So my first gripe, which not to be a downer, but people are hiring people to with donkeys to carry their packs in and
Oh,
out rather than doing it themselves, which to me, I always think if you're going to go, if you want to make the commitment to go to a waterfall and it's
yeah.
10 miles each way, carry your own stuff. So that's just first and foremost. Second,
Yeah.
I do have a gripe with people like abusing the area because
Yeah.
first and foremost, like the Havasupai tribe has lived there for over 800 years. Like this is their sacred land. This is their home. We come in and they've allowed us the chance to go and explore it and see it. And then certain people, younger people especially, they come in and make a mess and take too many photos and destroy things and take rocks and do stuff that they're not supposed to do. And it's like ruining such a beautiful, sacred thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm with you there. Like everyone doing it for the gram and ruining kind of
Yeah.
this entire opportunity, especially with like the pack animals. Like that breaks
Yeah.
my heart because like the conditions, like a lot of those people are not like really treating those animals properly, and they have like
Right.
these saddle sores, and it's just
Right.
terrible. But yeah, if you're gonna do it, commit to it, make the trek, carry your stuff.
Yeah. Right. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
do it
wild.
yourself. But yeah, so that's just because I researched a lot, and this waterfall is gorgeous. It's beautiful. The area is stunning. But just like when I was researching it, I came across all these things that I feel like should also be mentioned just so people are aware. We know pack it in, pack it out. Like that's a no-brainer when you're doing this stuff.
Hmm.
And just be really mindful of this because like nature in general, we're trying to keep it around for as long as possible for generations to come. So just treat it with
Yeah.
a little bit more respect, I would say.
Absolutely.
That's
Plus, I mean, the 10 in and 10 out, like you said, I don't think a lot of these people realize how far that is in the Arizona
yeah.
desert. So that
Yeah.
you might be signing up for something that could be potentially not up your alley. Or you
Yes.
putting yourself or others in a dangerous position. Like that's not a hike in the park. That is quite
Yeah.
a ways.
It is,
So
yeah. Yeah. But anyway, that and end rant. Did you have any
no, that
others
is
on
a
your
very
list?
appropriate and an important rant. So no other ones that I've been to personally, sad like that is the thing that I took away from researching this episode. Is like, wow, I've been to 2 on the main, like not on our Chasing Waterfalls feature, which means I'm adding things to my list of things I need to go see on our 10 picks of wondrous waterfalls. I haven't been to any. So, I have some exploring to do,
Yeah.
but no, it's just I need to start getting out and taking road trips across the country to see these waterfalls. I will say that I noticed that Bridal Veil Falls, whenever I was researching about Yosemite, there is a Bridal Veil Falls in Yosemite, which is also very, very beautiful. And there's one in Cuyahoga Valley National Park, which I was getting very confused by. I'm like, well, I must be
Mm.
misremembering something. There couldn't be 2 very specifically named Bridal Veil Falls, but just like Westchester, there's a billion of them
Yeah.
apparently.
Right.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Um,
I've been to that Bridal Veil Falls in Yosemite.
yeah,
Beautiful. It very not a crazy cascade. Like it's a big drop but very
he's like
narrow.
a little guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I went during the end of the season, so it was a miracle that most of the waterfalls were flowing. It was just due to the snowpack that they had, I guess. And so I
Mhm.
got to see all of them with water, but none of them were like gushing with, with
Yeah.
the cascades were pretty skint, but still beautiful. I think
Yeah.
especially with the Yosemite and maybe some of these other places that we mentioned too, just looking at it. So like Yellowstone, Yosemite, maybe Multnomah, Mul Mul Multnomah. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Um, but the ones with the vertical drops because you're like at the bottom of a canyon or there's a mountain nearby, those to me are the most just absolutely jaw dropping. Like, yes, Niagara is impressive. It's huge. It's a multi cascade, giant waterfall. And a lot of these other ones that we featured are, but I like the tall guys,
Yeah.
not the little wide special boys.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Not our
um,
short king waterfalls. Um, but speaking of which, so I'm just gonna end with one in Pedernales Falls State Park in Texas that I went to because
okay.
this is a short one. This is small, but it's like a lot of gradual, like it's like
Yeah.
stairs almost of limestone
Oh, that's
that
cool.
creates these cascades, which I thought was really, really neat. It's like, yeah, so what you're saying, like a single dramatic drop that's like, just like down in a pool
Yeah.
below, which is really cool. These are not that. But it is really popular for swimming and photography and stuff. And if there's like a high water flow, makes it really pretty. And I visited, it's like you just have these beautiful pockets of like just like limestone formations with some water and it just kind of like flows down. Really,
Nice.
really pretty. That's a good one. I think I've been to a lot of waterfalls because I was road tripping so much, because I was living on the road, and
Yeah.
I sought out these waterfalls specifically, especially the ones that you could swim in and that you could jump
Yeah.
in, and like those to me are my favorites, because nothing's better after a hike than a waterfall that you are legally able to dive in and just enjoy.
I've never gotten to do that. That is on my life bucket list.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
Yeah.
No, we have to make
Yeah.
this happen.
Yeah. But also to your point, a lot of them you're not allowed. Like you shouldn't be
Yeah.
crossing. One is either dangerous or they're trying to preserve the area or whatever. If I do this, and this is like this year I make it to a waterfall that's at the end of the hike, I'm gonna swim in it. And if I slip on a mossy rock and crack
Oof.
my noggin, I'm just gonna be so angry.
Yeah. No.
No,
Well,
but
yes,
to be fair, those are slippery.
they are. Yeah. You
But
definitely have to be careful.
yeah, gosh, that does sound. I'm gonna have to do some googling to see if there's any nearby. Maybe there's some
Yeah.
swimmable ones near me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Or just road trip a little bit. Or you could always, build a barrel and head over to Niagara.
BYOB.
If I see it on the news, somebody goes over in a barrel, I'm like,
She did
Sarah?
it.
The next podcast episode, I'll be like, so I'm not joined by my co-host Sarah.
Coming to you live from the barrel.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You're setting up an expectation for our listeners that
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
yikes. Only in Your State is an award-winning travel publisher that uncovers hidden gems and local favorites across the U.S. We have a presence in all 50 states with a passionate following of fellow travelers looking to get out and explore. Head on over to onlyinyourstate.com to find the best attractions in your backyard and beyond.